Conservation is preventing the waste, decay, or loss of wildlife and natural habitat. It also means to carefully use our natural resources to prevent depletion. It is a very broad topic that should always start with a basic understanding. We are a part of nature. So when nature is destroyed or polluted, then so are we. We must learn to live in a way that supports and protects our natural world. There are many ways to participate in these efforts. Conservation biology can pick one animal and focus on the way to protect it. Another method is habitat conservation, which focuses on a specific habitat, such as our beaches or mangrove forest, which includes many animals. Energy conservation looks at ways to reduce our non-renewable resources, such as oil. Water conservation finds ways to save water consumption and keep our water clean. Today we are making a difference by protecting our local animals and habitats. We now know many ways to keep the dolphins safe. Not feeding them is one of the easiest and most important rules to follow. They can lose their ability to catch their own fish and become fully dependent on humans. Next, we should always respect the dolphins when we are out on the water. Boats should slow when they are spotted and should never drive directly into or through a group. Also, make sure not to lose any lines or fishing gear that could injure or entangle them. Groups like us, the Dolphin Explorer crew, work to learn about the local coastal populations can also help keep the dolphins safe. We monitor them and will know if one is injured or needs help. This happened with Seymour, a subadult male who was found with line wrapped tightly around his tail. We knew enough about him and his whereabouts to put together a successful rescue attempt. He was captured, the line was removed, and he was released that day. And remember, the bottlenose dolphins we see in southwest Florida have been living along this coastline for millions of years in perfect harmony with Mother Nature. So it's up to us, as stewards of the planet, to keep the waters clean and pristine for them to live. Many other animals are in need of our help, and there are already some rules and practices in place. The Florida manatee is one of these animals. It is listed as an endangered species, which makes it illegal to harass, hunt, capture, or kill them. Florida waterways have designated manatee speed zones and areas to reduce the chance of boat collisions. Florida Fish and Wildlife has a stranding network that the public can use to contact if a sick, injured, dead, or tagged manatee is found. They will come to the scene and rescue the animal or collect data to find out what happened. Another local marine animal in need of our help is the loggerhead sea turtle. They are also classified as an endangered species, which protects them from being hunted or traded. All developments along the beaches are required to turn off visible lights during nesting season, allowing the hatchlings to find the ocean. Hundreds of workers and volunteers search the coastlines during nesting to survey, monitor, and protect the nests. We also must preserve our habitats and ecosystems to assure a safe, clean place for these animals to live. The beach is a place that accumulates trash from the waves and tides, so by picking up these things as we see them and making sure we don't litter or accidentally lose things off of boats really helps the animals that could ingest the trash or become entangled in it. Also, when on the beaches, we learn to leave any mollusks or other animals that are alive and keep our collecting of natural things like shells to a minimum. Our mangrove forest is also extremely important in providing habitat and a food source to nearly all of the wildlife in southwest Florida. Because of this, they are strictly protected from being cut down or altered. Many other plant and animal life are protected as well. These rules and regulations are very important from preventing things like the huge decline of wading birds in earlier years from poaching. The outlawing of harmful pesticides like DDT saved our osprey and eagle population from possibly going extinct. Also, the state and federal government buying and acquiring land as refuge for these animals assures them habitat and a place to live. Water conservation is among the biggest efforts locally and worldwide to preserve our most precious natural resource. By being aware of how much water we are using on a daily basis keeps that extra water out in nature for the plants and animals. Also, by keeping pollution to a minimum, it allows our waterways to remain clean and healthy.
Wow, guys. Is that Seymour there? No? Yeah.
There he is.
He's really the most socializing we've ever seen him do.
One of the easiest and most important ways to help in conservation is to spread the word. By telling our friends and families about the many things we can do to make a difference, it allows us all to work together. One of the main goals of the survey team on the Dolphin Explorer is to collect data and learn as much about the dolphins and habitat as possible. This knowledge gives us the power to understand what can be done to help them. Then we can show and teach everyone, from the boat to the classroom, why and how they can help. Our research shows us that the dolphin population is relatively stable, and that is a great sign that the ecosystem is pristine and in good shape. So by staying positive and working together, we can continue to learn and find ways to conserve nature, wildlife, and our resources. And remember that we are a part of nature, so by conserving it, we are ensuring a happy, safe future for ourselves and our families.